Well, I think, as you know, last evening the President of the Commission wrote to us all outlining a sort of series of steps in terms of a potential wholesale cap, but there's lots of work to be done basically. And the proposal essentially, and I think it will be for Charles Micheál and the President of the Commission to give the concluding lines, but our sense of what's happening following the communication from the President of the Commission yesterday is that very significant work will happen between now and the formal council, with the idea of having the bones of an interim proposal around energy generally. The precise form of that will still, I think, have to be determined, and the mechanics of all of that. But there's a two-stage process. There's an immediate process to have an impact on the energy market, and then there's the redesign of the gas market itself in the medium term, which could take about 6 months. But there's really an urgency now around an immediate set of actions by the Council, and the Commission will be working up proposals on that front for the next Council meeting.
And is the price cap, is that the immediate part that will have the immediate effect? And is it going to be a Russia-specific price cap or a general price cap?
Well, there's a general set of measures. I mean, there are trusted suppliers, and so the Commission has already entered into discussions and negotiations with the friendly suppliers to the European Union. So there's a range of measures, and then there's the issue of both looking at the wholesale situation, but also looking at the decoupling of gas and the impact that has on electricity prices. As we know, that's been discussed for quite a while, but I think there's added momentum around that now.
Apologies.
I was just saying there will be discussions, and discussions have commenced between the Commission and those who supply gas into Ireland. What I would say is that national concerns have to be taken into consideration. No, as I said earlier, no one is coming to this with the same position. So, for example, Ireland imports 75% of its gas from the UK, and Norwegian input into that as well. So security of supply is always uppermost in our mind, and that has to be balanced with the price issue, obviously. But there's a real sense in there in terms of the wider impact on economies, and the fact that there's been progress in terms of the windfall tax measures taken by the Energy Security Council and so forth. So I think there is momentum behind this, and there is a sense also that collective action is important and unity is important.
Taoiseach, we went into this meeting with 15 member states in favour of a cap in some format. Do you get the sense that we'll come out of this meeting with a good few more members adding their support for that? And also the 3 measures that von der Leyen seems to have put forward in that document. Is Ireland willing to accept all of the measures that she's suggested?
Well, what President von der Leyen has really outlined is a proposal for action and to work up proposals. The letter last evening is not a definitive final position of the Commission, but it is opening the door in a certain direction, and we're open to that. And we said that we would play a constructive role in working all of that out. And for Ireland, energy security, combined with the price issue, and a European-wide response would be very helpful all round in terms of stabilising the market, which would have a beneficial impact on the economy, on households and on industry. And there is concern around industry across Europe in terms of the impact of this high levels of energy prices. What was also interesting there over the last 7 months, the presentation made by the President of the Commission, is the extraordinary degree to which Europe has reduced its reliance on Russian gas. Quite extraordinary. And replaced it with sources from the United States, Algeria, Azerbaijan and so on. So it's been quite an extraordinary switch in just 7 months. So extraordinary work by the Commission, which illustrates what can be done when Europe uses its heft as a collective unit in a very unprecedented situation such as this.
Taoiseach, can you crystallise how all this discussion around price caps would impact Ireland? Are there risks? How does that reconcile with Ireland's strong dependency on the UK and Norwegian gas via the UK?
Yeah, well, again, I think we're okay on that front, and we've made the point that that's obviously a key concern of ours. But the critical issues will be how one finances a European-wide intervention, and that's probably where a lot of debate will take place between now and the Council meeting towards the end of the month. As you know, that's always a challenging issue for Europe in terms of collective action. We saw the first evidence of collective action during COVID-19, and it was impactful. So any cap and there's different definitions. This is a different cap now to what's been proposed elsewhere, if it was to materialise. But again, there will have to be interventions. There's other measures as well that the Commission is progressing, but obviously security of supply is something that the Commission is very mindful of for all member states.
Taoiseach, just a question from Senator Maloney. There has been some controversy in recent days around cheating in, I can't say this with a straight face, in Irish dancing. Are you worried that this will impact Ireland's reputation in general?
No, I don't think it will damage our reputation in general, but I think obviously any organisation, be it cultural, be it sporting, must make sure that the highest standards apply. And that's a matter for the organisation concerned to deal with that. And I know Minister Micheál Martin has issued a statement in relation to it.
And just on another national issue or domestic issue, there are a number of Fianna Fáil councillors now, it appears, that are going to go against a bus connects plan in Cork. Do you think this is acceptable? You know, it's a major piece of infrastructure. It is similar to turning down housing, which your party have been quite critical when it comes to Sinn Féin for doing.
No, it's not at all similar to that. I think now we have to allow local democracy take its course here. And I myself would have concerns about how that proposal has been advanced. And it has created extraordinary anxiety among people across the city. Elderly people crying because of the letters that have been sent to their homes. And I think there must be a better way for a national agency to behave in respect to an issue like this. No, I've met with the NTA. They're saying they want to consult with the residents and with the various groups right across the city. The same happened in Dublin a year ago, and the plan that eventually emerged was significantly different from the one that was originally proposed, through a lot of advocacy and representation by various organisations. But I think there are question marks about that approach, the idea that you put forward one plan and then the one that eventually emerges is dramatically different. But in the meantime, a lot of anxiety and stress is caused, and I think different approaches could yield similar or better results. But there's a lot of very concerned people out there, and councillors are fully entitled to represent those views and those perspectives. I think there's a lot can be done in terms of, and a lot has been done by Cork City Council and Cork County Council in respect of active travel, in respect of greenways and various cycling routes and so on. But destroying the character of certain neighbourhoods was never on anybody's agenda, and certainly is not something that I would support.
Thanks
Thank you very much indeed.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it. Thanks a lot.